Hello, and welcome to our panel, Community Building Among Black Content Creators. Now, today I have with me some of the best at that, and I am so excited to let them share with you the knowledge they have, the experiences they have, and potentially help influence you and inspire you in a way to better yourself, and also show you what Black content creators can especially do. So I'm going to introduce each of them very briefly, and then I'm going to let them take the reins. My name is Gabe Hicks, and I'm going to be the moderator for this panel today. So first off, let's talk about Betty Nixx. Betty Nixx is a part-time Twitch streamer and content creator. She focuses on live streaming a variety of content such as video games, beauty, and wellness. I like that because it's well-rounded and gives you a lot of variety in what people can do. A multifaceted gamer, originally from Trenton, New Jersey, and she brings a little spice to the streamer world with personality and comedic rage moments. And I think that's something, to be honest, all of us can relate to. Next, let's go to Red Infamy Tamika Moultrie, Geek Game Tights founder, journalist, producer, host, consultant, hailing from Queens, New York, which I appreciate. It is a sister state of mine. Thank you. Tenured journalist, pop culture, video game, esports. It sounds like Red Infamy does a lot more than any of us probably have ever realized. And that's just what's written down. Let's be honest. There is plenty more that is unspoken. Now, I'm sure if you have played The Sims, you know Mira. Yeah, I see that smile. But let's talk about and appreciate for a second. As a result of frustration with the lack of diversity in The Sims, Mira created the Melanin Pack, which, by the way, the name alone is just beautiful. But it was giving more skin tone options, and she kept working on it and improving it continuously. Over 140,000 subscribers. Like, Mira puts in the work, and we are all better for it. And then we have the critical bard, Omega Jones. Actor, vocalist, tabletop professionals, worked with WotC, World of Darkness, creator of the Critter Hug song that is on Critical Role, and a full-time streamer. And if you have never heard Omega sing, I'm sure if you look, you'll find it, because it is the sound of angels that you didn't know you needed on your shoulder. So I have talked enough, and there is so much that these lovely panelists have to talk about. So actually, one thing that I want to ask each of you just right off the bat, and anyone can go first, what is one piece of advice you would give to a Black content creator? Like the first thing that comes to mind. Anything.
Moderate your spaces carefully.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go out. Yeah. Mira, please say that again so everyone can hear it a second time.
Moderate your spaces carefully.
We're good. We're
Protect
gonna
your peace.
Yes.
See, you stole mine, man. You stole mine.
Well, okay, Omega, please say it. Say it again. Emphasize for us.
No, it's okay. No, yeah, protect your peace for sure, but understand that it's going to be hard.
Yes, that is true. Betty, do you have anything in mind right at the top of your head?
Don't be afraid to network with other Black creators.
Yeah, that is a good one. And then Red, what about you?
I would just say, like, be yourself. I see a lot of people try to be like other creators just because they're popular. And I'm like, just be true to who you are, what you do, what you're interested in, the games you actually want to play. Like, play those games. It sets you apart from others. So I would say definitely, like, just be you, be yourself and who you are.
That's true, because there is value in just being you. That is what people come back for. That is what people cherish and appreciate. And I feel like all of you would agree, especially when you are a Black content creator, if you are not honest about who you are, it is ruthless. It is ruthless and relentless. And it always comes back.
Facts.
Sometimes it feels like a double-edged sword. It's like you want to be who you are, but sometimes people don't like who you are. So you have to persevere through that regardless, because there will be people who do want to see you for you. But some people get scared. Some people say, I try to be me and people don't like that. But when I play the games that other people are playing, when I do the things that other people are doing, when I take the names of other people, I get more views, and they get stuck in that. Well, if that's working, then that's what I have to do. But sometimes at least I've learned that truly just being me and everything that I do has been the most successful I've been. And that's never going to change. So I'm not going to tell someone not to do something, but also don't be afraid to be yourself, just to add to that.
Yeah. Because it could be stressful. Like, I see some people that like, okay, I got to make these schedules, I got to do this, and not really. It's a mental health thing too, and that's why I mentioned like to actually just be yourself and what you want to play, what actually makes you healthy, and not going to make you stressed out while streaming. Like if it's a game that you actually enjoy and you want to play, and then your own personality add into that, it's not going to be so stressful because it's not going to feel like it's a job all the time. Now, mind you, it does get stressful streaming all the time. So I shouts out to Mara and Betty and Omega, everybody that streams on a constant. Because yo, I'm still trying to figure it out. Not gonna hold you a front, but yeah, just like sometimes me playing my little obscure weeaboo games, they like, Red, what are you playing now? Like, what is this? But just me enjoying the game that I'm playing, even though some of these people might not play it, they're like, you know, I might even pick this up, or I love what you're going through with the game or how you're playing it. So it just makes it fun, and it actually helps you build an audience, help you build a community that, okay, what's the next game she's going to play next? So that's why there are people that kind of fall in on, okay, what's the meta? You know, and gaming is always what's the meta of something. But it's going to come stressful when you have to keep that up so much. If it's you know, you don't like Fortnite, but you playing it, then it's not going to be that entertaining as well with your streams. Like people are going to pick up on it that you know damn well you don't like Fortnite, but then you try to play it just because that's the most popular thing. And now you're in something that's so saturated now. There's tons of people playing Fortnite. What is going to set you apart from everybody else? Even if it's not played all the time, somebody might just randomly want to see a game that hasn't been played for a long time, but you're playing it. So now you're gaining more, you know, followers through that. So yeah, that's why I'm saying just be yourself. It's easier. It's just really easier to do that.
So you said something that it is hard as hell. You said community building. And finding other Black creators to collaborate with, especially in a streaming space, in a designing space, in an entertainment space, it can be hard. And it can be hard for a plethora of reasons. It can be hard because sometimes, understandably, some people feel like they're safer on their own. The other time is there are plenty of times that people try to pit us against each other. And it is exhausting. It is exhausting and unnecessary. And Mira, I know that you work especially hard at doing this. Could you speak on that a little bit?
Okay, especially I definitely want to touch on the pit us against each other because it's something that I've noticed not only in the gaming space, but I've noticed across like industries. They always try to pit Black content creators against each other, and people always try to make it a competition. There's always this, there can only be one mentality when it comes to us that I cannot stand. We are all unique individuals with amazing personalities, and we all bring something different to the table. And I need people to understand that. And I'm tired of people acting as if there can only be one person within this set genre, one person within this set field, one person for everything. It doesn't have to be that way. And I need for people to like step out of that mindset. Me personally, I've been playing Sims for years, and it's a single player game. So I've never really collaborated. I never really, networked. I kind of grew my community by myself on my own. Not because I felt like I was like in competition with anybody, but because I literally only played a single player game. And I thought about the potential, like, the drama, the drama that comes with like befriending people and stepping outside of that box. But I was like, well, what am I going to do? Just stay in this box forever? Like, I can't do that. So I'm like, it's going to be drama no matter, who you deal with, where you go, what happens. So it's like, I have to come out of that. So what I've been doing lately is this thing where I've been trying to, but I've been so busy, and it's called Link Up and Sync Up, where I sit down in Notion and I put games together that I love, that I know people find entertaining. And I think of like the best couple of people that would match up with that. And I like write everybody down. And then when I get the time, I go, hey, you want to come play this with this group of people? Do you want to do this? And I've been trying to slowly, get a couple of games going. The most recent one I think we did was like Drunk by Daylight, where we get a group of members of my noir community and we just played Dead by Daylight and take shots. And it's been so fun, so chaotic, and I'm glad I did it. So that's a fun way of like networking with other streamers, content creators, just inviting them to come play games with you. People that, of course, people, it's best to reach out to people that you know already. That's the smartest thing to do because you never know what can happen on stream. And also networking at conventions. That's something I got to get better at because I'm always like quiet and sleepy at cons. So that's something that I'm actively working on.
So something that I think every person watching streams needs to be better at is when you're supporting Black streamers, make sure you are especially supporting Black women streamers. There is harassment, there is a lack of respect, and there is a lack of attention for no reason other than people are sometimes just jerks. Support them in what they do just by being there, acknowledging, appreciating, because you don't have to be chatting, but support can go a long way. And if more people do it and more people show the appreciation, it makes a difference. So Betty, you're also a streamer. Do you have any opinions on networking, especially when as a streamer?
So I am pretty new to the space. I will say I've been here for 3 years, which I'm pretty sure is a lot less time than the others on here. But no, I'm surprised. But to me, I still feel like I'm new in the space. So there are a lot of people that I still do not know, but the way that I get to know them is by I'll lurk in streams for a little bit and then I'll chat here and there just to get a feel of how the streamer is and how their community is. And sometimes I'll join the Discord, sometimes I'll follow them on Twitter, but most times I'll just keep coming back and just to check them out and try to network with them by saying, hey, if they want somebody to play the game with, I'll play with you. I have no problem with playing games with new people if they give off a good vibe after I've pretty much observed them for a little while. Mm-hmm. And that's really how I've built my community and how I've gotten to know a lot of people from just chatting with them or gaming with them. Yeah. It's really that simple for me. But I know a lot of people in this space are introverted, so they might be nervous about talking to someone new or trying to game with someone new, and they might want to stick to the people that they know. But if you want to grow in this space and you want to make new friends or you want to have new people come and support you, you have to talk to other people in this space. There's no other way around it.
Yeah. So we just had Black Krystel hop in. If you don't know Krystel is an influencer, host, streamer, cosplayer, advocates for mental health, even does music. Might recognize Krystel from hosting work for ESPN, the CEC Countdown, works for Esports. Krystel has done a lot. This is a pretty stacked panel. So thank you for hopping in, Krystel.
Thank you so much for pulling through. I was enjoying the convo, lurking in the back. It's been so good to hear with my lovely ladies and community members. This is so dope having this Juneteenth celebration. So yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So then something else for community building, like on different platforms. So Twitch, for example, has the raids, and there is now the tag system. Has that improved and has that influenced your community building, do you think? For anybody, go to Benega.
I have heard a lot of things back and forth when it comes to raids, but I would not lie. I really enjoyed the raid system. I enjoyed the fact that it is a quick way for you to say, you know what, I might be done with my time. I might be done with my stream, but I'm sure there's other people in my chat who would not mind going to someone else's chat and supporting them. And if I can directly bring my community to you, and it's not that I'm forcing anyone, because obviously they can opt out of a raid, but if I can get, no matter whatever the number may be, if I can just bring that community directly to you and say, hey, this is them, enjoy them, support them. It's just an easy way to connect with someone else, someone you might not have even known. And bringing in the new tag system, specifically with Twitch, it's been really nice, because something I've been trying to do, especially during Pride Month, is like, I'm going to look up a tag. Let's look up the bisexual tag today. Let's see who's in there. And obviously I have to do some vetting just to make sure, I'm not bringing my community to someone who might be toxic or whatever the case may be. But it's just been very nice to see people see numbers or see people that they might not have been able to see. And that's simply because this raid system and this tag system is there. It is an easy way to connect with another community if you don't know people, if you don't have those connections already, if you haven't been doing any type of networking before. This is a quick, easy way to say, hey, here's my community. I'm bringing it to you. Hopefully you have a good time. Hopefully they enjoy your space. And I'm not trying to get anything out of that either. I'm just simply boosting somebody else for a moment. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's very effective. And who knows what type of connections can come out of that. I've had many people either message me later or make a post on Twitter like, thank you so much for the raid. If you ever want to chat, whatever. It's like, again, easy, and it's now you have somebody in your book, for lack of a better word, someone that you can guess, if you want to do more collaborations with, that somebody who's potentially there just because you sent your community to them. So I think it's very cool.
Something I've seen with raids, especially for like charity events, is when there's a charity event and someone knows someone else is streaming for the same event, they will raid that person who might be a smaller streamer or might have less of a reach, because it's like, this person is also raising money for like this Black foundation. And it's someone who might have been streaming for like 6 people. They had just started streaming, but it makes their entire day, because you can use that system to connect people working towards a similar cause. And it doesn't have to be the game. It could just be the cause that makes the difference to people. And Red, you said that like you haven't been doing this as consistently as everyone else. So I'm curious what your opinion on this is. Do you think it's like helped you when you stream every now and then?
Yeah, like it's cool to raid other people and to get raided. I just think that it just builds like a little family a lot of times, and seeing that you are being supportive, you're able to support someone, like it'll make you like, you know what, I'm gonna stream tomorrow, because somebody came through and helped the sister out, one of my friends or whatever. So I think it's very uplifting, just like you were saying, supporting even like on charitable causes or observances for different things, and you just want to help and support. I've been waiting for this damn tag system for I don't know how long. I'm like, well, you made a tag for this, but you didn't think to make a tag for so I love that there's tags to represent different people, different communities, to support one another, or to just shed light and maybe want to understand or see how there's it's been annoying for countless of years to see the same old white and Asian faces just be spread upon, Twitch all the time. That's why I appreciate it when I seen Mixer. Mixer just had to mess up, but like Mixer had an algorithm where I was able to see different people, and then I can even it was easy to, it was like TikTok, you could kind of like move on to the next what you wanted to see, but it represented so many different people, and that's what I wanted to see, that same algorithm with other popular platforms, that were based off of gaming. So I love how things are changing. I love that there's a tag system, because for the longest I had to make my own algorithm. Like I was trying to find as much Black women as possible. I would go through countless of different streams, say, hey, how you doing? And that's how I even came across Betty. That's how I came across you, because of the algorithm I had made from following other Black women. And I was like, okay, she's that cool. And then I went to, just like she was saying, I went to go follow her on Twitter to try to establish more of a connection. And, whatever we're all able to do in the future, I'm all up for it. I just love supporting. I know a lot of times us as Black women in this gaming industry, sometimes we don't get that support. And I love the sisterhood that we are building, just supporting one another, cheering one another. I love seeing everybody win, because it makes, I'm winning. I see y'all winning, I'm winning too, because that means that it's open for more opportunities. And yes, I've been in this industry for a decade, but I love now that when I'm able to go to conventions, I just don't see me and 2 other sisters. Like that's how it's been for a long time. Now I get to see more and more people. I go to PAX, I get to see more and more. I'm like, okay, you see, the Black, hey, so it's just dope, and I'm happy I got a chance to meet Mira. I think Mira, we met at PAX. Krystel, I knew you for a minute. But yeah, I just love that I get to see more and more of us. So just like with that tag, now I'm able to discover more that I didn't get a chance to discover. And that's always been my MO, is trying to find more of us and how I can help to uplift everybody or to send them on their next journey.
So I want, for anyone watching, I want to ask you a question. There are these 5 Black panelists telling you these things. Is this the most amount of Black content creators you have seen this month? And if that is the case, I want you to think about why. I want you to think about why. I want you to consider why. And then I want you to try to change that. I want you to actively try to change that, because if you don't try to change it, you're accepting it, and it's complacency, which leads to a whole bunch of problems where nothing improves. And we got a question that said, I can only stream once a week due to work. What would you recommend for creating an audience community? And I think this is something you can do on platform and off. So Krystel, I'm kind of going to throw this question at you because I know you do a lot of stuff with Discord and Twitter. So what do you recommend for creating an audience and community and make it happen even if you're not streaming as much?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you tossed this one to me. Thank you. Actually, it's kind of like important for me because I also have a full-time job in production, so I can't do a full-time stream schedule, but I'm still a part of the community. I still also just love streaming. So I've found a schedule that works. I think it's more about the consistency than about overloading with the content and being able to like have that anchor for your community to come to. So regardless of what you're doing on that Wednesday night, Waifu Wednesdays is happening on my channel, you're going to pull up. And it is only two days a week I really stream, but when we're not live, we're hanging out in Discord. I'm chatting with my community almost every day of the week. We check in. I know when someone moves. I know when there's a wedding. It's been really so it's really awesome to like connect at that level. You get that personal level, kind of what you were saying earlier, Red, about using Twitter and getting that connection. I kind of use Discord as that safe space to have that, not only to kind of separate myself as a content creator, but also to, cultivate a community. Twitter DMs only stay in my DMs, and I want our stories, the stories to be shared for everyone. So having Discord really allowed us to have just a safe space full of the moderators we need, the areas that we need where we can talk and share information, and we aren't tied to Twitch chat or tied to a broadcast. That conversation can continue on and around stream. My community has been talking about Weetabix for a month now because of one mention in a stream. Yeah, it's a weird cereal like granola bars. It's some British stuff. All right. Look it up. You'll regret it instantly. The conversation hasn't stopped and I'm not fueling it. And I feel like that as a creator is like what you live for. When you're like, yes, the community's doing the thing. It's being awesome. It's incorporating, our inside jokes, and it's living and existing without me there to fuel the fire. And I feel like Discord is such a hub for that. I love that platform. I'll champion it to the day I die.
So this next part came up earlier. And you especially made me think of it again because you mentioned safety. So let's talk a little bit about mods, vetting, enforcing, and making sure that your community, your stream, your area is safe for you and the people that are there. Does anyone have anything they want to start with about this?
Oh man, chiming in. It's a lot. You got to put it first. I think that's just my biggest thing. Like, I think the reason why we're all silent is like all of us have had to have so much moderation, so much protection. Mira's face on.
Yo, I just had a front page stream last night. It was like 20,000 people in there, and my mods was just going. Like as fast as the chat was flying, as fast as you see ban. People was like, "Oh my God, your mods are so good," and it just going. And I'm just like, oh my, I can't even see anything. I even tried to ban, even trying to be slick and sneaky. Like I tried. They was banning as fast as I was blinking. I was like, oh, everything gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because people are just weird.
And that's so funny to mention. I'm sorry, like front page, like you would think, like, we'll be chilling, and it's like when you're most vulnerable. So I feel like that's something to point out, where it's like, yo, shout out to your mods. Like you have
You're just going.
Your mods is on it.
Yeah,
you have to be.
You literally have to be messing with Twitch, especially front page. You have to be.
Yeah, and I to jump in, I was one of the, specifically thinking about Twitch, I was one of the pod champs for a day. And I think most of us are aware of what happened. They took a simple thing that I said as a Black person speaking about a Black experience. They took that, clipped it, made me out to be the most anti-white person to ever be on Twitch.com.tv. Death threats, doxed, all those things happened. But in that chat, I had dedicated moderators. So like, I barely saw anything. Only saw it because it became so much, and I was like, okay. But also, I have a thick will. You can't really break. You can't really penetrate me like you think you can. But regardless, I was so glad and appreciative of the moderator team that I had, because it was nonstop when it started. And it continues way after that. So I think it's not just moderation on Twitch, because make sure you have a core group that you know that you can trust and just rely on. Because again, as I said at the very, very beginning, it's going to be very hard as a Black person on whatever platform you are on. And if you, even not as a streamer, as a content creator in general, it's going to be hard because people are going to judge you a lot more harsh than anyone else, but then only give you half of the love and during all that. So you have to have a strong core to understand that we're here and we're always going to be here, and there's nothing that someone else can ever do. But also, I want to speak on, when it comes to moderation, you have a lot more influence than you think you have. You have a lot more influence than you think you have. And I'm not even just talking to Black creators right now, talking to anyone who is a prominent person, or even just the viewers who watch. You have a lot more influence than you think. You saying, hey, that's a bad thing. Hey, you shouldn't be saying that thing to that person. Trust me, you will get someone, even if it's one person, you will get that one person to not do it again. And when one person becomes 10 people, becomes 100 people, becomes 1,000 people, then we're creating something. But if you never say anything, if you just stay complacent and just be like, well, I mean, I guess, then nothing's changing. You have a lot more influence than you think. Don't be afraid to speak out.
Yeah, I've seen it where people act a certain way in one chat, and then they come in my chat and think they can act the same way, and I just like
Yep.
I'm not as I'm. It was a thing around the community and the people who streams I frequent, where I was like this super strict mod, because it's like certain things I just don't feel like they need to happen in chat. Certain things you don't need to say, and I feel like a lot of people that frequent this space kind of don't have those social cues where they should know, like, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't do this to the streamer, or just, it's just certain things you shouldn't do. And some streamers won't say anything because they think, oh, I'm going to lose that viewer. But that viewer doesn't need to be there, because they're either disrespecting you or they're disrespecting people in your community. So there are certain things that need to be nipped in the bud, like ASAP. So that's something that I would like to add towards curating your moderation in your space.
And I also quickly want to add, and we said at the beginning as well, protecting your peace means a lot more than you think it does. I am a zero tolerance streamer. I don't care where you came from, if I'm being quite honest, because I have to protect my peace, which in turn is protecting my space and protecting my community that I have curated and made sure I have promised to protect. So if someone comes in there on some left field stuff, I don't care if I don't know you. You're blocked. I have a syrup. I don't have them right now, but I normally have a thing of syrup next to my thing, because you're going to get these band cakes. You can pick what flavor, but you're getting banned. And I'll give you the syrup to go along with it. Like, I'm just not going to allow someone to disrupt my space because they were allowed to disrupt somebody else's space. Just because you didn't check it doesn't mean I'm not going to check it. So just, it is okay to protect your own peace, because again, we're kind of all we got. So you have to make sure you're protecting yourself.
That was so powerful. You're right, though. It's also not even just a space for yourself, though. I've always seen it as like a space for others too. Not to downplay, but for you. But like, think about it. Like, I want my family to feel welcome here. Like, my Nana watches my content. Like, Nana can't come around. I don't know if that's the community I want, and that's me, you know? So that's how I feel. My little cousins who play with me, where I'm like, I want to be able to have a 13-year-old come into chat and learn and be accepted and not feel that way, and that's my vibe. Well, I know other people have different ones. For me, that's super important. So moderation for me is very high. I have children who watch me, you know? I'm very kid friendly. And I'd like to extend the convo as well to talk about, moderating your moderators. You've got to vet those. it's been crazy. There have been horror stories about, not really knowing your moderator. So I stress it is having a system, being able to have checks and balances. I know it sounds weird, but like, if your moderators aren't doing their job, like there's a reason it's a part of the community, not just to protect me, but also to protect everyone else. Like this is not just so you can get a sword in chat. Like, exactly. I'm sorry, there's a little bit more to it. So I definitely would say there, make sure that you take the time to find your moderators, like, who can actually be there for you and you can trust at that level.
Yeah, that's something that's super important, because I actually have a horror story. Oh no! When I first started, I started on Twitch, went to YouTube, and then I kind of grew my community on YouTube. And when I used to stream, I used to do Let's Plays, and then I started streaming, and then I hit an audience spike where my audience went from an average of 60 to like 200. And the chat used to just fly and fly and fly. And one day I had a moderator come to me and was like, some of the other mods are like banning people from chat for no reason. I was like, what do you mean? It's like they just banning people. They're just like telling them stop spamming the chat, because how they're just talking and talking about Sims or whatever. And I had to like pretty much approach them and be like, so what are y'all doing? And they're like, oh, the chat was flying, I didn't know what to do. I said, so your solution is just to randomly ban people to intentionally slow my chat down to make it better for you?
Wow.
And that was a hard lesson. Yeah, I had to get rid of everybody, and I had to do like a whole reset and get rid of like most of the mod team and just do a whole do-over and just take better steps to get to know the people better that because I just started. So I never would I think that people that claim they want to see you win and claim they want to see you grow would do something so like
growth.
Crazy. So vindictive. And I noticed I just was getting too many messages of like people saying, I literally didn't do anything. I don't know why I'm banned from your chat. I just want to watch the stream. And I was like, this is happening too much. And come to find out, they was just banning people. And when I asked, it was, oh, well, your chat was flying so fast, I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, so the solution.
There's so many other solutions. It's just
Let the chat fly, bro. Like if you see something, you get rid of it. But
literally have a timeout button for a reason. If they need to time them out, if that's the problem. But yeah, I've had a couple of instances where like, just because you're a moderator, like I joke to say my space is the kingdom of trouble, because I'm the king, I'm the Bardic king, I'm the king of the troublemakers, whatever. But I'm like, just because you have a throne in this kingdom doesn't mean that you run this kingdom. So you have to make sure that even though you're a moderator, and I trust you and I'm always going to respect you as a moderator, you have to respect me as well. It's not about just protecting you, it's about protecting everybody. And so you have just don't go too far. A lot of people go too far. It's just talk with your team, know what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, how the streamer operates, so you understand what you need to do to make sure you're still under that umbrella. So it's just talk, y'all.
I know one way that people try to get mods, or that they're mods, is some people have mod applications. One of the ways that I found mods is just pretty much looking at who frequents my chat and how they behave in my chat and in other people's chats. Some people that I have on my mod team are mods in other streams that I mod for, or that I frequent all the time. So I'll say, hey, do you have the time to moderate for me, because I need more mods? So that's another way that you can vet your moderators and make sure that you have the right people on your team and that have the best interests, your best interest in heart as far as your content and your streaming.
I love that.
So this is kind of a side question, but someone asked, do you have to have a webcam to be successful? I prefer to not be on camera myself.
No,
absolutely not.
No, when I just said I had an audience spike and I grew my audience to average of 200 viewers, I did all of that without a camera. Like, it used to be hundreds and hundreds of people in my stream without a camera. You do not need a camera to like grow and succeed and do well.
If you can show your personality without being on camera, you're going to have the following. You don't necessarily need a camera. Your personality will do the work for you.
Yep.
Definitely.
And then when you add a camera, that's just like icing on the cake. Like it's gonna get people probably more involved, probably more discoverability, because some people do like to randomly try and find people and see if there's a camera, like, oh, they might probably interact better or more. Some people have that thinking. But no, if like just like what Betty said, if you're able to have your personality shine, come through, without a camera alone, and you're entertaining as far as this interacting, even so, like I used to tell people, even if you have a donut in your stream, like, I grew up as the only child for a minute, so I would talk to myself. Don't think I'm cuckoo, but I would talk to myself on different things.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
I do the
So,
same.
I still do
you know,
that.
I'm just
Same.
happy. Yeah, I still do too. Like, so if you're able to talk to yourself, like, do y'all have those moments with gaming where you like, yo, I know they lying. Like, just through any game you're playing, that's entertaining. Like, you're sometimes you have to even entertain yourself, even if you don't have those viewers there. Those viewers will come, so you don't have to have a camera. Just enjoy your game and enjoy the experience and whatever you're trying to offer and what you want to portray for an audience, a future audience, and you'll be good.
And to piggyback off of that, a lot of people don't even actually watch Twitch. You might not realize that you have a lot of lurkers in chat, but what they're doing is they might turn on Twitch on their phone and go do something. So they're not even watching you; they're listening. So as long as you have the voice, as long as you are engaging with your vocals, you don't need the camera. As you said, Red, the camera is just the icing on top of the cake. Yeah, it doesn't make the aesthetic there, sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, it is not a necessity to stream.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Even in some esports realms, it's the gameplay. Like, they don't want the cam. The kid's not even talking. There's super weeaboo music blasting in the background and just trick shots. And I'm like, I'm here for it for at least 2 hours, lurking in the back, So don't let those limitations, equipment limitations, stop you. Don't let it stop you, for sure.
So this is actually a good related question then. For people who are using Twitch, what is the tag system and how can we use it to our advantage?
I feel like I've talked a lot. I'll say it, but I feel like I've talked a lot.
So, the tag system is basically when you write up your stream information, that like your title, what game you're playing. There's a section where you can add tags. There is a very long list of tags. I don't know how many. There are hundreds of tags that Twitch just recently added. I think either towards the end of last month or earlier this month. So it's a way for other people. You can click the tag when you see someone playing a game that you're like, if you're on a stream, click the tag. It'll bring up a bunch of people that are using that same tag. They have Black, African American, Jamaican, Panamanian, tags like that. If you want to see people play indie games, you can click that tag. You'll find a bunch of people under that tag. So it's just another way for people to discover other streamers that you probably wouldn't have discovered if those tags weren't there. Because Twitch doesn't really have really good discoverability methods on the platform. But I think the tags kind of made it a little bit better. So if you see them and you want to find new people, use them.
I'd like to stress that. Sorry, I'm like, yo, you were saying Twitch isn't the best for discoverability. Let's talk about that. I have to browse games by game category. So I have to five brain it and guess what, streamer that looks like me or has the vibe I'm looking for in a motley of games of titles, hundreds of versions, and then filtering by view count is not the way to go. So if anything, thank God the tags exist, because it was next to impossible. Like, I like to stress that. Like, there was literally no other way unless you went outside of Twitch to find someone and be like, oh, you stream. Okay, and now I directly go to you. Now I subscribe to you. Now that's why I show up. There's no way to peruse. There's no way to just, put on the TV. I'm just taking a look. Like, where's that? I want my programming. I want to see all my waifus on Twitch.
So each of you have mod teams. And I don't know if there's a specific formula that you have for this, but someone asked, how many moderators are on your mod team? How many mods do you think Black streamers need per average number of watchers to be effective?
No, I'm kind of small. So, my on Twitch, I'm a little smaller, I guess. So I have like around like 5. Now, some people I had to drop because I was like, did you see what just happened? Like, can you do this or can you do the shout out? And if they're not up for it, that's fine. I'm like, that's cool. If you don't, you don't want to do it, cool. I say for me, especially being a Black woman, I've had all kind of creepy, like just not appropriate stuff a lot of times in my stream, and I was like, damn. And then I had got rated and I was being featured on my partner's channel, so even more people came in than I usually would have. Like I averaged probably like 30. This turned into like 90. So it's just more people that I never had before, and I was like, dang, I need more people. So I would definitely say, especially being Black, there's all different types of things that's going to be said, done. Don't let you be a woman, is going to be twice as that. So I would say whatever your numbers are averaging, you should probably have a ratio of depending on that. So if people have like 100 all the time, you might go have 20 mods or something, because I was like, dang, I wish I at least had 10 mods during this moment, and I didn't have that. So yeah, I would say, I don't know the specific number per se, but I would add that, yeah, you would need more than usual because of everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on that. I think, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I would never say that. I think you have a lot of value in the words you have spoken. I also think there is a fear that you need a lot to be successful. And I think the good thing that Twitch does have, like, you can slow your chat down, you can put it on emote only, you can do a chat delay that specifically mods see chat a second before someone else does. And those things help so much as far as making sure that things are getting vetted before the community even sees it. I guess literally when you count it, I do have 30 mods. However, I typically only have about 4 or 5 in chat at a time. If I have like a front page slot, that might go to 6 or 7. And it seems like that's not a lot, and it seems like that's scary. If you have some good mods and they know what they are doing, I'm telling you, buy them some Wawa or some whatever, because they are on it. So it's not about having, in my opinion, it's not about having a lot. It's about having people who are dedicated and will do the job and won't slack off, because you will see that they are mighty in the things that they can do. But I would say definitely have a bunch to pull in if you need to. But having those dedicated ones that you know you can just always trust, to me, is that's the most valuable thing you can have when it comes to moderating team.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
I have I just counted too while we were, because as soon as you asked the question,
especially because of what happened.
As soon as you asked the question, I opened up my chat bot. I counted. I have 17 mods at the moment. I would say on any given day, there are 2 active mods who moderate my chat throughout the stream. But there'll be up to 6 of them in stream. But then there's some that are more active than others, and some that very passively mod. So you want folks that are able to passively mod. You want people that are active. I have 17 because I understand people have lives, kids, families, jobs, other things. They're not going to always be at every single stream. So I keep it so that's like a healthy rotation, that I know at least 1 or 2 of my mods will show up to any of my streams, no matter what time or what's going on.
That part.
For last night's front page stream, I think most of my mods was in there, but they literally was kind of sitting in my mod chat. Like, I didn't even get to do anything because these 3, 1, 2, 3, it was like 3 or 4 of them that was banning everything moving. They was banning so fast, they even banned a couple people by accident that had to come and apologize. It was like, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to get you, I meant to get him. And it was just going. So I say when it comes to that, it's definitely quality over quantity, because if you have good mods, you don't need a lot. It was 20,000 people in that stream, and it was just 3 or 4 people just going boop, 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 boop. And the other like 5 or 6 was like, I didn't even get to ban anybody because I blink and they're gone. Like, they was literally like playing a game in my chat, like racing to see who could ban who first. Yeah, like they play games with it. Like it's a game to them. And like, yeah, I got him and you didn't get him.
That's how you know you
got a good one. Yeah, they having fun. And I think it's very important. Like I have a specific locked mod section in my Discord for my moderators. Whenever I have any big events or streams, I'll ask in advance as much as I can without trying to break an NDA or something, like, hey, can y'all mod this for me? Can y'all, like yesterday I had to be like, yeah, I have a front page stream tonight. Whoever can show up, please. And they even have like their own mod VC chat that's like private, and they hopped in there and they're sitting there talking to each other while the stream is going. And it's important to let your moderators know what you like and what you dislike. After a while, they'll pick up on the things that irritate you. It's important to have conversations, public and private, with them so they know exactly what to ban without even you having to say anything.
That part.
I like that when new things happen and we encounter new situations, I just pull them to the side like, hey, I noticed someone in the stream said this. When you see that, just time them out. Let them know if it continues, ban them, or if it's something that I have zero tolerance for, if you see X, Y, and Z, just ban them off the cuff. But for the most part, they know me so well, they know exactly what would irritate me, and they know what would irritate them, and they know when people are trying to be funny. Like, they know so much that I don't really have to have these conversations anymore. They just know to ban people.
So thank you for all of you coming out, hanging out, listening to this conversation. And this conversation is never ending. There is plenty more to say. I'm going to let each of these people tell you where you can find them on social media. And then make sure after this panel, you go to the main floor and support the vendors. There's plenty of stuff to check out. So first, Red, please.
Everything is Red Infamy across the board. If you want to play some games, just don't add me like I'm a Pokemon. Like, let's really just play some games too. Because I get that people just want to add you. Yeah, everything's Red Infamy across the board. GeekGameTight.com will be back up soon. And also to plug the podcast that I'm on every week Sunday at 8 p.m. is Eat for Life podcast. So definitely, come through. We give some gems on financial literacy, esports, and entrepreneurship. So definitely come by.
Okay, and then Mira.
Hey y'all, Xmiramira here. I play a variety of different content. I know everybody knows me for Sims, but I haven't been playing that for a while. I've been playing everything else under the sun. Even scaring myself with horror and just doing a lot of collaborative streams with friends and community members. You can catch me on all social medias under Xmiramira, names the same everywhere. I also just started a community called the Noir Network. It is for femmes, Black femmes in content creation to help level the playing field for us. So definitely, check that out if that's something you're interested in. Applications reopen in the fall. Thank you.
All right. Omega Jones, Critical Bard.
Hey, yeah, my name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard across all social media channels. Again, I'm an active vocalist, hot mess incarnate. I just do a lot. Just check out my Twitter mostly where you can see what I'm doing. I do want to plug, if you are interested in more things like this, I have moderated and created the Black as Fuck Roundtable. There's a 3-part series that you can go on YouTube and see right now if you look up Black as Fuck Roundtable. Also another side table that I did with in conjunction with Dungeons and Dragons. And it's just about being Black in the tabletop space. Gabe was actually one of the panelists on that with me. So if you want to check that out, that's a place where you can get more information if you're ever curious about things. That's me. Keep making trouble wherever you go.
Black Krystel.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl BK, aka Black Krystel. You can find me all on the interwebs. Same thing, Black Krystel. This is awesome. I'm your resident otaku, so I'm here to bring you all that anime goodness and represent, East Coast with everybody here. I feel like we're gonna put gaming on the map eventually. So just wanted to plug NYC. We're doing a lot of stuff with Operating System New York to bring gaming to New York. So really excited to be on the lookout for them.
Betty Nixx.
Yeah, so I'm Betty Nixx on everything: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I do a lot of variety casting, as Gabe said earlier. Right now, I'm trying to get more of my makeup that I love, makeup content on there. I also am the wiganista because I switch my hair a lot, and I give wig tips. If you want some wig tips, you want to see how I do any type of wig tutorials, you can also catch me for that. So make sure you follow.
All right. I'm Gabe. You can find me at Gabe James Games. I just do weird stuff. Thank you for joining us, and have a fantastic rest of your day. And as my friend Omega would say, stay Black.